When it comes to the brain, it's either you use it or you lose it. It's rather unfortunate that just because we can't see it like our eyes or hands, we tend to not take proper care of it. In this video, I share with you 12 ways to care for your brain, originally shared by the famous brain coach Jim Kwik. And I had an interesting and yet very informative conversation with the doctor about the brain in general. I'll leave the conversation at the end of the video, so you'd want to watch till the end to take a listen. Now let's go straight into how to care for our brains. First, learn and don't stop learning. To keep your brain healthy, learn a language or a sport or something. Just don't stop learning. Remember what we said in the beginning, use it or lose it. Secondly, read. Read as much as you can. Stories and words reduce risk of cognitive decline, and so you'd want to read as much as you can. Read your Bible, read books on subjects that fascinate you. Just read. Thirdly, have a proper diet. Eat foods with proteins, fruits, and vegetables. Did you know that there are actually foods that are classified as brain foods? Leave in a comment down below if you'd want a separate video on brain foods or foods that are good for our brain health. I wouldn't mind making the research and sharing with you. Now, until then, just have a proper diet. The fourth way to keep your brain healthy is to stimulate your brain with puzzles and games. Yes, I know that is a little weird, but it serves as challenges to your brain and keeps your brain healthy. Quick story, I always make excuses for children who ask for my phone that, I don't have games on my phone. But when I found this out, I've decided to get some puzzles on my phone to keep my brain stimulated because we want to keep our brain healthy. Now let's move on to our next point. Exercise. I know you probably have heard this the most when it comes to health in general, but this is your 100th time for emphasis. Keep exercising to keep your brain healthy. I can't say much, and that's about it. Our next point is to be safety conscious. Wear your helmets, wear your seat belts at all times when you should. Make sure you don't injure your head. Make sure you don't get into an accident that will affect your head. Well, we can argue that Jim Kwik became who he is partly because of the injury he had in his head, but maybe you're not going to be the next Jim Kwik. So please take care of yourself. Next is to develop and maintain a good sleeping habit. This, I know a lot of us fall short with, but the brain needs about 7 to 8 hours of sleep to process and recharge. Hello to my nocturnal family. Leave a comment if you're a nocturnal being, if you are awake most of the time during the night, but this is what we're supposed to be doing. We need to develop and maintain a good sleeping habit. And our next way is one of my favorites. Switch routines. Now, if you have stayed on a type of routine for so long, it is very likely that your brain is on autopilot, and so switching up your routines will surprise your brain and turn off autopilot. For instance, if you wake up in the morning, brush your teeth, read your Bible, and go about your daily chores, once in a while, switch it up. Wake up, read your Bible before you go and take your bath, and your brain will turn off the autopilot because of the continuous routine. Our next way is to be social. Have a form of social life. Well, I'm not saying to go out and party necessarily, but all I'm saying is that have a social life. Have friends and family that you interact with from time to time, and that is also a way to keep your brain healthy. Next is avoid substances. We are not going to keep long on this one, trust me. If you are smoking or drinking alcohol, please just stop if you want your brain to be healthy. All I'm saying is stop smoking, stop drinking alcohol, stop taking drugs if you want your brain to be healthy. That's it. Our next way is to avoid stress as much as you can and be deliberate about relaxation as much as you can. Stress in general exhausts your brain and your hormones, and so take time out to spend time in calming atmospheres. Note also that nature has a calming effect on your brain, and so go to the beach, go to the zoo, take a road trip, just do something that will relax your mind, and that will be medicine to your brain. Now, last but not the least, get a digital detox. I know that I can't stress this enough. Now, too much screen time impacts sleep and overwhelms your brain. And so sometimes, just turn off your phone, turn off your laptop, go offline for some time. Please, it is good for your brain. Now, there are a couple of these ways that I will have to implement myself. And so leave in the comments down below if there are any of these ways that you already practice, or there are some that you are yet to add to your brain health routine. Now, if you have enjoyed this video, be a nice person and share it with your friends and family who may find this valuable as well. And subscribe to this channel to get more of such content. And wait, before you leave, I've inserted the conversation I had with a doctor about brain health in general. And please enjoy. And I'll see you in my next one.
Okay.
The less you use a particular part of your brain, then the brain cells literally die off with time. So you see, your brain throughout your whole life is forming new connections and learning new things.
Okay.
It's not like your muscle.
Okay.
The more you use the muscle, it gets bigger. It undergoes what we call hypertrophy. In the same way, the more you engage your brain, it literally, how shall I say, it becomes more robust. The particular pathway that, depending on the mental exercise you are doing, depending on whatever you are using your brain for, that particular pathway gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. So it's like your brain adapts to different things you do in your life. And it's a very beautiful thing. So it's called neuroplasticity. You can just type in neuroplasticity.
Okay, neuroplasticity.
It's neuroplasticity. It's like your brain is very flexible. The neurons are very flexible.
Okay.
And this is very, very, very important. We see that even from childhood. So when you give birth to a baby like this, okay, by the time they turn about 1 or 2 years, almost about 1/3 of all the brain cells they had, they die off.
Okay.
Yes, because they have not been used.
Okay.
You get it?
Yeah.
So if you give it to a baby, okay, and you are wise enough to expose your baby to a lot of stimuli, you let them watch music. Even if some people start in the womb, they play music for the baby to hear in the womb.
Right.
And when their children are born, even as if they let them watch cartoons, listen to music, what happens is that with those children, less neurons die because they ended up using more neurons before the time of death came.
Wow.
You get it?
Yeah.
So such children end up being more intelligent than those who are exposed to less stimuli. The thing is that, as I told you, the principle is that the more you use a particular pathway in the brain, the more robust it becomes, the more strong it becomes. So if you're a child that I expose you, so literally, actually, it does work. If you give birth to your child and you keep your child in a dark room for months, okay?
Yeah.
And after like a number of months or a number of years, or not even by 2 years, you bring your child out of that room, that child will never see.
Wow.
That child will be blind because you see, by exposing the brain cells that interpret light to light, they grow and become better.
Okay.
So if you keep them away from light, with time, because you are not using them, they kind of what die off.
Oh, okay.
That's that by the time you are now exposing that child to light, the cells that would have interpreted, they are already dead.
Oh, right.
You see, so if you give it to your child and you can expose your child to so many stimuli, light, music, dancing, you are playing with the child, you are talking to the child. Usually music stimulates a lot of brain centers. Like you are exposing the child to so many different things, reading stories to the child. You are activating different brain centers.
Wow.
Such that less of that child's neuron die over time.
Okay.
And that child literally becomes very intelligent later in life. You see, so but in adults,
Yeah.
the application is that you must stay mentally active.
Okay.
You must engage your brain. Look for like crossword puzzles, playing cards, solving. Engage your brain. Read. Be imaginative. So you actually read. Imagine the things you are reading. Be involved in tasks that mentally challenge you. Because the more you use your brain, the more it gets robust.
Okay.
The more slower the neurons die off. Because with age, everybody's brain gets smaller and smaller and smaller. Because the more you age, the less you use your brain. But you realize, for those who are mentally active, some professors at 90 are very sharp at still teaching. It's just because of the use of the brain over the years.
Okay.
So the neurons are still active. It's the same. That's why we call neuroplasticity. The neurons don't die out because they are being used. The pathways are strong. They are active all the way to their death. But those who are not learning, who are not reading by 60, they're already forgetting things. It's like they have dementia. It's all mostly lack of being mentally active.
Okay. How about people who are young, as in youth, who forget things easily? What do you think is the cause?
Oh, a lot of things can be the cause.
Okay.
A lot of things. Some people have what we call attention hyperactive deficit disorder.
Attention hyperactive.
ADHD, ADHD,
Okay.
or ADHD. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder, ADHD. You can read about it.
Okay.
These children, usually a number of children have it, but they go out of it with time. They can't pay attention. They are distracted by so many things.
Yeah.